Okay, working on a HWH AP14721. This has a problem with the circuit board. It is constantly blowing the third fuse. This guy right there. So we're investigating what's going on. Got my voltmeter over here. We've got it on simple ohms. You can see we got one side on ground, one side here, and we got continuity. So power comes into these three here. One's ignition, one's accessory, and then one is I think engine on. Don't know the order. But this is the one with when the ignition's on. So power comes into this pin, then it comes out to this terminal here, and then the fuse would normally sit right like this. So there's a 15 amp fuse here and a 15 amp fuse here. This is the circuit with the problem. So we take the fuse out, and then we have continuity from this pin to this terminal, which is great. And then after the fuse, the power goes in here through the fuse and back down. The problem is on this side. We have continuity from ground to this pin. So you can see we're touching this pin and we're touching ground. So anytime we have power to here and we put a fuse in, it will always pop. That is the problem with this board. So we have a diode down here, this guy right here. So we're going to test this diode. We're going to take this out of ohms, put it into diode here, and I'll try to do this with not enough hands and a phone. So we're testing the diode on the other circuit first. One way is overload, which is perfect, and then we come back and we swap it. And this way we should get a reading of, I think, half a volt. I think I did it wrong the first time. This is very difficult. Oh. Yep, okay. So it's got half a volt, so this diode is good. So we take this off, put it onto the next one, and then no voltage. So this is telling us this diode is bad. It is not stopping the voltage from flowing. So then, if we go this way, still nothing. So this diode should have a short. We're going to take this, go back to ohmage, make sure we're on beep. Nope, we're not on beep. Now we're on beep. So do the same thing. And then you can see here when we go this one, we have continuity on, we have connection on both sides, no beep. And we go over here and we have beep. So this diode has failed. The diode fails, it is allowing ground to go to this circuit, which when you have ground on one side, power on the other, fuse pops. So as a test, we're going to cut out this diode here, and then we will recheck. So again, if I put this on one side, we got ground to my power output of the fuse and input into the board. Continuity, aka direct short. So let's cut out this diode here. Okay, we're back. I've snipped this side over here of the diode, popped it up, and then snip this side over here. And our diode is now out. So now same test. We're going to turn this back on. Put this into measuring resistance, ohms, and we expect it to beep on a on the ground. So we got one side there, one side here. Again, before, the power input of the fuse does not beep. Before, with the failed diode installed, this terminal had continuity. Now with the diode not there, with a failed diode not there conducting, we should have no continuity on this pin. As you can hear, you're not getting connectivity. Connectivity here, no connectivity here. So now this board is fixed. Simple removal of this diode. The diode's purpose is only for reverse protection. So if you hook up power to ground, ground to power, the diode will prevent the circuit board from failing. Right now, the diode has failed and is preventing the circuit board from working. So short-term fix will be to take it out. I will order a new replacement. Looks like it's 1.5K diodes. I'll order one of these guys up, 18 amps, and solder back in at a later point in time. But now the board should fire up and everything should work. And as our last test before we actually bolt this back into the motorhome, we got a 12-volt battery here, ground, power. Ignore the colors of the alligator clips. It's more important, of course, the actual voltage. So we got our ground going over to the chassis of the board. Then we have power coming out, going into that pin that has power when the key is on. So here we're basically probing for voltage on the input side of the fuse, 12 volts. And now, because this fuse is good and the diode has been removed, we put this voltmeter onto the output side of the fuse or the input side of the circuit board. And since it's not direct short anymore, we have voltage going into the board. So assuming nothing else has been fried in the board itself, I would expect the leveler system to actually work when put back into the coach. Boom.